Many people set goals with genuine intention. They want to improve their health, strengthen their mindset, build a business, deepen a relationship, or create a life they feel proud of. The desire is real. The hope is sincere. But when the time comes to take action, many find themselves stuck at the starting line. Not because they lack ambition and not because they lack potential, but because they simply don't know what to do next. This uncertainty leads to hesitation, then second guessing, and then frustration. And before long, the goal they once felt inspired to start feels overwhelming. It becomes easier to say, "I don't know where to begin," than to admit something else, that the path already exists and guidance is available. The truth is, almost anything worth doing has been done before. The path might not be identical, but the patterns are there. People have succeeded in every field, overcome every challenge, and navigated every type of uncertainty. And the lessons they learned along the way are out in the open for anyone willing to study them. Books, courses, mentors, coaches, role models, stories. Each one is a blueprint waiting to be used. Success doesn't require guessing. It doesn't require reinventing the wheel. It requires learning from those who walked the road before you and allowing their experience to shorten your learning curve. This is not about copying someone else's life. It's about understanding the principles that consistently lead to growth. Every mentor, every successful individual, every person who has changed their life has followed certain fundamentals: discipline, patience, consistency, humility, and the willingness to learn. These principles are timeless because they work. They don't belong to any specific industry or generation. They're simply the foundations of progress. When you learn from others, you gain something priceless: clarity. The fog of uncertainty begins to lift. You start to see that your obstacles are not unique, and your challenges are not impossible. You begin to recognize patterns in the stories of people who've struggled, adapted, and eventually succeeded. Their journey becomes a map you can use, not to eliminate difficulty, but to navigate it with confidence. And yet many people avoid this step. They believe they should figure everything out alone. Others fear asking questions or reaching out for help. Some think learning from others somehow diminishes their independence. But seeking guidance is not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of maturity. It shows a willingness to grow, to stay open-minded, and to learn from wisdom earned through experience. When you allow mentors and proven paths to guide your next steps, you carry less weight. You don't spend months stuck in trial and error. You don't waste energy on guesswork. Instead, you move forward with a sense of direction and purpose. The journey becomes less confusing and far more achievable. Learning from others does not replace your personal effort. It strengthens it. It gives you tools, insights, and strategies that you can adapt to your own life. It reminds you that you're not walking alone. It reinforces the truth that success in any form is not a mystery. It's a process. When you're standing at the edge of a goal feeling unsure of what to do next, you don't need to abandon the dream. You need guidance. You need models. You need examples of people who've already walked through what you're walking through. Their lessons can become your foundation. So use the knowledge available to you. Learn from those who came before you. Study their habits, their failures, their resilience, their willingness to keep going. Not because you need to become them, but because their path can illuminate your own. Every journey becomes more possible when you stop walking it blind. Follow the examples, apply the lessons, let their wisdom give you clarity, and then take the next step, your step, with confidence. We don't always see it, But many of us live inside a prison. Not one built with walls or barbed wire, but with silent chains that weigh down our spirit. It's the prison of comparison. It happens quietly, almost without us realizing. You look across the street and see the neighbor with the bigger house. You scroll through your phone and notice someone's vacation in a place you've only dreamed of. You watch a coworker get recognized while you're still waiting for your turn. And in those moments, a whisper creeps in. Why not me? Why am I behind? Why don't I measure up? Comparison is sneaky because it feels so natural. It shows up as ambition, as if by measuring yourself against someone else, you'll somehow climb higher. But for almost all of us, comparison doesn't lift us. It locks us in place. It convinces us that our life is less valuable simply because it doesn't look like someone else's. What we forget is everyone is running a different race. Some people sprint, some walk, some carry heavy loads that you'll never see. The person you're comparing yourself to may be fighting battles in silence. Their smile could be covering pain. Their success might be the result of sacrifices you wouldn't want to make. You see the surface, but not the story underneath. When you measure your worth against their surface, you deny your own depth. You overlook your own victories and you dismiss the path that only you've walked. Comparison also steals the present. While you're busy staring at someone else's lane, you miss the beauty of your own. You miss the progress you've made. You miss the small wins that add up to a life of meaning. If you want to break free from this prison, it starts with awareness. Catch yourself in the act. When you notice your mind drifting into comparison, pause and breathe. Remind yourself, their life is theirs. Mine is mine. There is no finish line that you need to cross before someone else. Exercise gratitude to shift your mindset. Not the shallow kind, but the deep kind. Think of the struggles you've endured and the strength it took to keep going. Think of the people who you love, even in your imperfect moments. Think of the lessons only your life could teach you. Gratitude doesn't erase your ambition, it anchors it. It reminds you that your worth doesn't rise or fall with someone else's story. You need to celebrate your uniqueness. There is no one else on this planet with your exact mix of scars and strengths, dreams and determination. That means your journey can't be compared because it's one of a kind. The prison of comparison may feel strong, but its walls are made of illusion. And illusions lose power the moment you see through them. Step outside those walls. Stop asking, why don't I have what they have? And start asking, what can I create with what I've been given? You are not behind. You are not less than. You are not unworthy. You are simply on your own timeline, carrying your own story, walking your own path. And that in itself is enough. The only life you need to measure yourself against is the one you've been living today and the direction you're headed. When you choose gratitude, when you choose presence, and when you choose to honor your unique journey, you'll discover something powerful. You were never meant to compete. You were meant to be. And in that being, you'll find your freedom. We all carry a story inside of us. A story about who we are, what we're capable of, and what our future looks like. Some of those stories are empowering. They tell us we can rise, we can grow, we can succeed. But for many people, the story in their head is filled with doubt, fear, or limitations. Truth is, the story you tell yourself shapes the life you live. If your inner narrative says, I'm not good enough, then every challenge feels heavier. Every failure feels final. But if your story says, I'm learning, I'm growing, and I can handle this, then setbacks become lessons, not endings. That's the power of rewriting your inner narrative. It's the mental map that guides you through life, especially when things get tough. Now let's be honest. Most of us didn't write our first stories. They were shaped by family, teachers, friends, and even failures from the past. Maybe someone told you that you'd never succeed. Maybe a mistake made you believe you're not capable. Over time, those words and experiences become the voice in your head. And unless you change it, you'll keep following a map that leads you nowhere new. But resilience is about picking up the pen and writing a different story. It's about saying, yes, life is hard. Yes, I've been knocked down, but my past does not define my future. That's the mental map of resilience, not ignoring your pain, but refusing to let it control your direction. If you want to change the story you're hearing, then here are the steps. First, recognize the old narrative. Pay attention to the phrases you repeat to yourself. Are they filled with I can't, I'll never, or I'm not enough? Awareness is the first step to change. Second, challenge those beliefs. Ask yourself, where did this story come from? Is this really mine, or was it handed to me? More often than not, the doubts you carry aren't truths. They're echoes from someone else's voice. Third, replace the script. When the old narrative shows up, rewrite it in real time. Instead of, I always fail, say, I'm still learning. Instead of, I'm not strong enough, say, I've survived hard things before, I can do this too. And finally, live the new story out loud. Don't just think it, act it. If your new narrative is I'm capable of growth, then take steps that prove it. Each action reinforces the new map until one day the old map isn't even visible anymore. Let me give you an example. Imagine two people lose their job. Now the first person's story is, I'm worthless without work. I'll never find anything better. So they shrink, they give up, and the story becomes true. The second person says, this is hard, but it's not the end. I'll learn from this and I'll find something that fits me better. That belief drives them to apply, to grow, and eventually to succeed. Same situation, different story, completely different life. Your inner narrative is like a compass. If it points towards despair, you'll walk that way. If it points towards resilience, you'll move forward even through the storms. No matter how long you've carried the wrong story, you can always write a new one. It's never too late. Resilience isn't about pretending everything's fine. It's about acknowledging the struggle and still choosing to keep writing. Your resilience begins with your narrative, and the pen is always in your hands. Let me know if this sounds familiar. You pick up your phone just to check the time, and before you know it, you've been scrolling for 20 minutes. Sound like you? Well, you're not alone. The outside world is designed to attract your attention. It's the dopamine hit. Every time you check your phone, there's a rush from your brain of excitement of what could be. And we don't even realize it's happening. We think we're relaxing, but how relaxed are you if your mind is racing and your eyes are blurry after a 20-minute session of scrolling? Your mind wasn't built for this much noise. You can't handle 500 opinions before breakfast, and your happiness is suffering behind that screen. So what can we do? Should we throw the phone away and live in isolation? Well, it's not really realistic, is it? But what is necessary is that we become more mindful of how we're using technology. Let's talk about a dopamine detox. We're not eliminating pleasure, but what we're going to do is rewire the brain so that you can enjoy the little things, like going for a walk, having a deep conversation, or finishing something that you're proud of. Here's how to start. Number one, be honest about your habits. Be aware. How often are you checking your phone in an hour? How many times do you pick it up without even thinking about it? See, the key, the first step, is awareness of what you're doing. Second is schedule screen time breaks. For instance, first hour of the day, or the last hour of the night, no screen time. Or even during the day, turning off notifications so you're not anticipating any whistles or bells going off. You'll be surprised at how peaceful that feels. Number 3 is replace the fix, don't just remove. If you're taking a break from your screen, fill it with something better, like reading a book, moving your body, having a conversation with a friend. Do something that feeds your soul. And number 4 is make boredom your friend. This might sound a little bit crazy, but this is where creativity comes in. When your mind is quiet, it's going to start to work for you, not against you. This isn't about perfection, it's about intention. You can still use technology, but it's on your terms, not on the algorithm. You're not weak for being distracted, you're human. The systems are designed to distract you, but now you know what's going on. Now it's up to you to make the change. And when you do, your focus improves, your sleep gets better, your mind gets quieter, your days get fuller even though you're doing less. This is the part of self-care that no one talks about. Self-care isn't just eating better and working out. It's about mindset, it's about mental health, it's about creating clarity versus chaos. So the next time you feel overwhelmed or you're just off a little, may not be you, it might be the screen, and maybe, just maybe, it's time for a reset. Because peace isn't found in more scrolling, it's found in presence, and that's something that no app can ever give you. If not now, then when? Seriously, if you're waiting for the perfect moment or the perfect mood, the perfect plan, you might be waiting forever. See, life doesn't slow down so you can catch up. Time doesn't pause just because you're not ready. The truth is, urgency is your ally, and now is all you've got. Too many people treat life like they've got unlimited chances, like they can always start tomorrow. But how many tomorrows have you already let slip away? Let me remind you that your dream, your goal, that thing you keep saying you want, it won't wait forever. Not because it's going anywhere, but because you are. Days will pass, months will pass, and before you know it, you're stuck in the same spot, wondering how the time disappeared. This isn't about panic, it's about purpose. Now, you don't need to hustle yourself into exhaustion, but you do need to wake yourself up. Because motivation doesn't always knock. It's something you have to ignite. And urgency is the spark. Because you've got goals, you've got ideas, you've got things inside you that could change your life, or someone else's. But none of it happens without action. And action needs fuel. It needs a reason that's bigger than your excuses. What would change in your life if you treated every day like it mattered? What if you woke up with the mindset that, I don't want to waste another minute? How would you move? How would you speak? What decisions would you make differently? This is your reminder. You do have what it takes, but you need to act like it. Don't wait to feel motivated. Don't wait to feel ready. Create the energy by taking the first step. Start moving and your mind will catch up. See, action creates momentum, and momentum builds motivation. And no, it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be massive. It just has to be now. Write the first line of the book, make the call, put on your shoes and get moving, take the class, post the video, have the conversation, whatever it is, start. Don't overthink it. Don't talk yourself out of it. Just move. Because when you act with urgency, you send a message to yourself and to the world, I'm serious. I'm here. I'm not waiting for life to happen. I'm making it happen. People who succeed aren't always the smartest. They're not always the most talented, but they are hungry. They treat their time like it matters. They don't wait to be chosen, they choose themselves. So if you've been stuck, tired, lost in hesitation, this is your moment. Feel the urgency. Not because you're afraid of running out of time, but because you value the time you have. This is your life. It's not a rehearsal, it's not a warm-up. This is it. So light that fire. Start where you are. And let the urgency push you toward everything you're capable of becoming. Failure is a word that we've been taught to fear, a word that makes our stomach turn and our confidence waver. But what if you didn't see failure as the end? What if you just simply saw it as a doorway? It's the beginning of something greater. Every win you've ever seen started with a moment that didn't necessarily go as planned. Now, nobody likes to fail. Nobody likes to feel like they gave it their all only to come up short. But you can't grow if you don't stumble. See, failing is feedback. It's data. It's life's way of showing you where to aim better next time. The key is to stop seeing failure as personal and start seeing it as productive. You didn't fail because you weren't good enough, and you didn't fail because you were unlucky. You failed because you were trying. And trying means you're already ahead of the version of you who stood still, that one who was too afraid to even take the first step. Success is the result of failures, adapting, and trying again. The same goes for life, for goals and for dreams. You don't hit your stride on day one. You fall, you get up, and you keep going. And that's how you transform a failure into a win. You get back up and move smarter. Let me give you something practical. Whenever something doesn't work out, don't just feel bad about it. Write it down. What did you try? Why didn't it work? What would you do differently next time? See, that's the lesson. That's the win inside of the loss. And most people miss it because they're too busy being ashamed of what went wrong instead of learning from it. If you want to be unstoppable, then get good at losing without losing your spirit. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. Every story has chapters. Maybe you're in a tough one right now. Maybe this part of your life feels like setback after setback. But here's the plot twist. This is just the setup for the breakthrough. If you keep moving, you'll get there. But only if you keep moving. The strongest people you know have failed more than you can imagine. The only difference was they didn't attach failure with being done. They made it mean they were just getting started. So stop waiting for the perfect plan. Stop beating yourself up because things haven't worked out yet. Start owning the mess. Start mining your failures for the lessons. And start seeing every no as a detour, not a dead end. If you want to win, then fall forward. Miss, learn, adjust, repeat. Failure is only final if you stop. But if you rise, reflect, and realign, you become someone failure can't stop. Turn your pain into perspective. Turn your stumble into strength. And turn every fail into fuel. Because this journey you're on, it's not just about the wins you collect. It's about the character you build along the way. Let that be your motivation.